From Star Television Network in Freetown, hello and welcome to the National News Bulletin. I am Leonora Jawara. First, the top stories. Starting next January 2020, countries within the West African sub-region, including Sierra Leone, will be able to use a single currency called the ECO.
The authority adopts the flexible exchange rate regime together with a monetary policy framework centered on inflation targeting. ECO was also adopted as the name of the ECOWAS single currency.
The National Council for Civic Education and Development has engaged stakeholders at the St. Anthony's Parish Hall aimed at putting policies and structures together for the association to function and operate well.
This is the beauty of democracy. Term don't come where the military that be a sacred institution we foresee ourselves no problem. Now the military, any function, any activity, they take part. Even if you don't go talk nothing, they will take part. For let you know, say democracy is at play.
The Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs, supported by the European Union and Irish Aid, has held a validation workshop on the revised anti-human trafficking legislation aimed at improving human trafficking legislations.
One of the key reasons we have not done so because we have not been very, very good at actually meeting the requirements of the legal requirement that we are supposed to do as a government.
And in sports, the Western Region Football Association has begun its annual National Female League with the Sierra Leone Police female team securing the first win over the Correctional Services female team.
So this is the start of many big things to come for women's football. Congratulations to now on and looking forward to great services. Thank you.
All these making the headlines. And now the news in detail. Starting next January 2020, countries within the West African sub-region, including Sierra Leone, will be able to use a single currency called ECO. Now, the new single currency was adopted by the Economic Community of West African States and governments in Abuja, Nigeria, after decades of discoursing towards achieving regional economic integration. Let's have more in this.
The need to integrate trade and remove all obstacles to free trade and movement in ECOWAS member states was again raised at the opening of the second ordinary session of the 2018 ECOWAS Parliament. One of the recommendations to achieving this is to adopt a single currency for Africa. Details in this report.
Developing intra-community trade is a sore point constantly raised when the issue of the economic development of African countries is discussed. Presently, intra-community trade in Africa stands at 15%, while trade at European Union is at 70%.
All for the 55th ECOWAS Summit.
It is with great pleasure.
In all of the opening comments, the speakers touched on issues slowing down growth and development in the region. Top on the list is insecurity.
We are all witness to the recurring incidents of inter-communal clashes, hardest farmers' conflicts, banditry and terrorist attacks in all our countries. Let me offer, on behalf of all of us, our sincere sympathies and condolences to the families of the victims of terrorist attacks, banditry and inter-communal clashes perpetrated by some misguided elements in our societies.
West Africa sub-region faces a number of other challenges, which require concerted national, regional, and international efforts. Some of these relate to governance, particularly inclusion, accountability, and adherence to rule of law, climate change, maritime piracy, security sector reform, drug trafficking, and transnational organized crime.
The meeting went into closed doors for over 7 hours. A 58-point communique was read at the end of the meeting, showing the leaders agreeing on several fronts. These include peace and security, tourism, single currency and free movement of people and goods across common borders.
The authority reaffirms gradual approach to the single currency, starting with countries that meet the convergence criteria. The authority adopts the flexible exchange rate regime together with a monetary policy framework centered on inflation targeting. ECO was also adopted as the name of the ECOWAS single currency.
The political situations in Mali and Benin Republic, Guinea-Bissau and Togo were also reviewed.
The authority takes note with satisfaction of the holding of local elections on 30th June 2019 with effective participation of the opposition and urges all stakeholders to ensure peaceful elections in order to deepen democracy in Togo.
President Muhammadu Yusufu of Niger Republic emerged the new chair of the ordinary session, taking over from President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria, who received accolades from his colleagues for his leadership and commitment.
You know that we have a single currency. This will promote integration, in the region. And I think this is one of the agenda items here, among the parliamentarians, to see how the convergence can be done, because, there are French countries and English-speaking countries coming together, and there are a lot of macroeconomic issues that have to be sorted out.
I think that will be fine, especially for business people, because normally it creates problems when we go to other countries and when business people go to other countries in terms of the change. When you go there, if you are not au fait with the currency they are using, either you be duped or maybe otherwise. But I believe if we have one currency, it stands good, because like in Euro, they are using Euro currency all over their country. So if we have that in West Africa, why can't we?
Other issues on the agenda at the parliamentary meeting included the consideration of the budget of all ECOWAS institutions, mitigating irregular migration and trafficking, areas of support for the G5 Sahel Alliance, and other breakout sessions by partners.
Now, the National Council for Civic Education and Development, NACID, has held an engagement session with stakeholders at the St. Anthony's Parish Hall at Sykes Street in Freetown. The meeting is aimed at putting policies and structures in place for the institution to function and operate well. Asanato Bakari has more, and she now reports.
The National Council for Civic Education and Development, NACID, has on Friday, June 5, 2019, held an engagement session with stakeholders at the St. Anthony's Parish Hall at Sykes Street, Freetown. Speaking at the engagement session, the chairman, National Council for Civic Education and Development, Kalilu Tutangi, intimated that the Commission is building an institution that will inculcate the values of patriotism and nationalism in the minds of Sierra Leoneans.
The National Council for Civic Education and Development was established by presidential order. Our role is to bring public education both in the communities and schools, something we call citizenship education, so that citizens can become aware of their rights, their roles and their responsibilities, and to further engage citizens into taking part in the process of governance in their country. What we are doing currently is we are trying to develop the structures of the organization. One of the ways we have proposed to do that is to have a national action, a national strategic plan. The strategic plan is what is going to guide the work of the institution. So we have engaged in regional consultations. We have been to Kenema, where we invited stakeholders from Kenema, Kailahun and Kono. We have done the same thing in Bo, where we had representatives from Bon district and all of the other districts in the south. Same thing in Makene, where we had all of the districts in north and northwest, where we have all of the districts. Now we're in the western area. The reason why we are doing this is because issues like civic education are national issues. They are not partisan, they don't only belong to the government, they belong to all of us as Sierra Leoneans. So what we want to do is to have the say and the buy-in and the contribution of the average Sierra Leonean into this document, so that at the end of the day, when we adopt this document as the strategic plan for this country, everybody will have a say into it.
He informed his audience that the Commission will be doing the third generation of the Open Government Partnership that will be completed in August. It could be recalled that civic education is one of the presidential promises during the campaign period by President Julius Maada Bio under his new direction that will engender the spirit of national cohesion and promote peace.
Now we know the role of the military. We can talk less. We are more of listeners. But I just want to assure you, see, this is the beauty of democracy. Time we don't come, where the military that be a sacred institution, we foresee ourselves no problem. Now, the military, any function, any activity, they take part. Even if you don't go talk nothing, they will take part. For let you know, see, democracy is at play. Where they may start this council, we have been the first people that we be present in the Ministry of Development and Economic Planning. And from there, they get some committees, then they get the steering committee. And from that time up to this time, they follow exactly what they happen. But like I say, people in the way they're supposed to talk. We they more for the list. But for telling us, say every aspect of what they go on at this council, fully supported by the military and fully supported by the Ministry of Defense.
For Star News in Freetown, I am Asnatu Eluma Bokai reporting.
While you're still watching the news bulletin here on Star TV, the Ministry of Social Welfare, Gender and Children's Affairs, supported by the European Union and Irish Aid, has held a validation workshop on the revised anti-human trafficking legislation aimed at improving human trafficking legislation at the Hill Valley Hotel in Freetown. This report has more.
One of the key reasons we have not done so, because we have not been very, very good at actually meeting the requirements of the legal requirement that we are supposed to do as a government. With the help of the MCCU, thank you very much for putting the pressure on us. We have actually worked very hard to make sure that we put the systems in place so that we can meet those criteria. Also, in terms of trafficking being one of the areas, we are on a tier 2 watch list, which means we're really not doing very well for our people. But the good news is we were at the risk of being degraded. That we work together, we continue supporting the government, particularly civil society, and of course the communities, because I can tell you, human trafficking does not happen in isolation. One person cannot get up one night and say, I am going to traffic. It's a chain work. But if we all work together, we can break that chain and we can make our people's life better, and particularly protect the children who are the children and the women who are in most cases most vulnerable of all.
That was eating into the very fabric of our socio-economic development and human resource growth. It was time for us to have a robust legal framework to help curb this wrongful act. Indeed, after several years of advocacy, the first legislation specifically targeting trafficking persons was enacted in 2005. As an institution charged with the primary responsibility to protect life and property, the SLP collaborated with faith-based organizations and other interested partners in the fight against this disrespect, unquote, to human dignity in the shape of trafficking in persons. Special trainings were organized for police officers around the country to keep them abreast with the evils of trafficking and to prepare them better for investigation of this offense, which I would see was almost unknown to police investigations.
This issue is a serious issue. It is serious to the point that we've had to invite our the members of Parliament come here today. Fortunately, all of them are not here, but the key ones are here, and I'm sure the others will join us shortly once the assignment in Parliament is finished. I have put up a picture there for you to underscore the importance of what we're talking about. That man you see there is a man who was in detention in Libya. He was trafficked from this country. UN paid him a visit, and that is what you see in the background there, the conditions under which they were being held. Sits in a patch of light entering through one of only 2 windows as he tries to warm himself up at a detention center located in Libya in 2017, 1st February. At the time of UNICEF's visit, 160 men were being detained there. So just imagine 160 people in a room where there are only 2 windows. And that is the amount of light that comes into that room. That is what our brothers and sisters are going through.
And time now to turn our attention to sports. Elton John, what's happening with the Female Football League as the Western Regional Football Association has begun its annual National Female League with the Sierra Leone Police female team securing the first win over the Correctional Services female team. Elton John, what's the latest?
Indeed, Leonel Ajawa, female football is back in the country after we saw over the weekend the kickstart for the Western Area Championship of female annual competition. It could be reckoned that for a long time now, haven't seen much of the region organized female competition, neither thinking about the Football Association because of the sonko between football and the country. Sierra Leone Police registered their first victory over the Cycle Correctional Services 1-0. Zaina Macaulay, she is called Small, arguably the best female player in the country, scored the only goal in the opening ceremony. Here is the highlights of the match.
As we are now witnessing the kickoff between the minister to Madam Aisha Madam Aisha, the president of the Association, who also have the kickstart of the female competition.
Good luck.
For the correctional team, Zalima in 9. Mami Kamara in 11 jersey.
Yes.
For the undefeated Ellen Police female team, behind the ball is Doris Altamana. Doris. Therefore, there is room for improvement, but then we need to commend the performance of this lady. Bentison. Trying to make it cross. No foul. The goalkeeper is out. Elfrida with a goal on the right-hand side. Look for our teammates. Kamara. Good interception by the correctional service player in a jersey. Coming over there for Memonato. Long cross over the station. Now among the players, the undisputed women's team is a key follower of the Palestinians. The only goal to try the game. Nice cross. Look for Melvina. Clear off the defender. Nice set about Kamara on the middle. Sierra Police gets possession. This is Kamara on the middle.
We are me witness that you are one of the few journalists that went to the conference in January 19 at Bo, where all of the teams converge in one conference and decide to play a short of wonderful competition like this. It's going to play by region. Like Western area, we have 10 teams. These 10 teams are going to play in a round-robin basis, and we have 4 qualifiers to the national. And the other regions, like the eastern regions, they're going to get 2 qualifiers. The southern region, 2 qualifiers, and the northern region, 2 qualifiers.
Time and the weather is all we want to say is big congratulations to the brother Mahmoud for this women's tournament. This is what we'd like to see. I just want to honor and they say in the next couple of months we will get for host So this is the start of many big things to come for women's football. Congratulations to now on, and looking forward to great services. Thank you.
By football stakeholders, headed by Mahmoud Kato. 32 teams are competing nationally, playing for the championship. And tomorrow the floor, there are 5 pieces of the Taylor story. There is Bakura. Keep coming up there, Cookie Baker. Couple of the players away. Shaka with a change. Good play by Small.
I'm so happy when the league don't start. I pray say we see the league don't start, so we go continue, we not go stop. I'm glad we don't get victory, but the victory are not too happy because I want to be picking them for play, they not play for me so.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Thank you for coming. Thank you, the organizers. I think are there to represent His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio. Of course, this now we don't belong for C, but with God a young greatness, today we see the resumption of the female Premier League. Thank you, Mr. Organizer Mahmoud, and I wish everybody best of luck, and I tell everybody say, may government go continue for support the female football and go continue for support the SLFA. Thank God, Madam Jansen is back. I hope say all what we get the differences by football, inshallah, it will settle. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Enjoy a great day.
We hope that the Sierra Leone Football Association, the Western Area Football Association, football stakeholders, we continue organizing female competition. Unfortunately for Sierra Leone, haven't seen a representation in the just concluded Women's FIFA's World Cup in France. In the international team, Brazil has become champions in the Copa America after they succeeded 3-1. It could be recalled that Argentina wasted an opportunity or kicked their blessing away in the semi-finals. Here's the highlights of the finals.
Twinkling feet as well. It's a great cross. What a start for Brazil. Everton puts Brazil in front. Gabriel Jesus, the architect, with some simply wonderful football yet again. Cueva goes again. And again Christian Cueva, and it was threaded in. It's a penalty to Peru. They have the chance to get back on level terms. And only a token protest here from Brazil, which may tell the story. You cannot put them away easily, this Peru team. And they are back in it. And here goes Artur. Gabriel Jesus for Brazil. The magic just keeps coming. Gabriel Jesus restores Brazil's lead. Firmino and Gabriel Jesus again in tandem, working so hard for each other and paying each other back in goals. Everton found some room, took on all comers, got knocked out of the way, and penalty for Brazil. Won by Everton, and it might win them the trophy here. And Richarlison clinches it surely for Brazil. It's 3-1. And now all that pent-up emotion that has built and built as the pressure built in this.
Congratulations to Brazil, and better luck next time to Peru. They wasted their chances in the finals. They were defeated by 3-1. The FIFA Women's World Cup has concluded over the weekend with the side called USA Crowned champions over the Netherlands. It was an interesting contest for both countries. So in other words, USA having won the highest number of Women World Cup after the 90 minutes. They succeeded 2-0. Here is the highlight.
It's come off the... Oh, now the challenge on Morgan by Van der Gracht. The boot was high in the air. VAR check is going on. Very, very high indeed from Stephanie van der Graag. Penalty. It's Rapinoe against Van Veenendaal. It's 1-0. The USA 1, the Netherlands 0. Helped on by Mewis to Lavelle. The game's opening up. Rose Lavelle, lovely run, great goal! Brilliant goal! Rose Lavelle might have won the World Cup for the United States with a fantastic goal. The United States 2, the Netherlands 0. For the fourth time, the United States of America are crowned champions of the world, and for the very first time they've done it on European soil. It is finished at the Stade de Lyon in the final in victory and joy for the United States.
Congratulations to USA. Better luck next time to the Netherlands when we Sierra Leone women who qualified to the FIFA's Women World Cup. A big question for the Football Association and also the District FA. That's all for sports. Back to Elena Rajawa in the studio.
Well, that's all in the Star News Bulletin file here on Star TV Channel 21. Thank you so very much for watching. I am Leona Rajawara. Do stay with us if you can.